Okay, so we're going to start off with a very basic concept in Philosophy 110 logic, and that is naming each component of a sentence of SL. So this actually carries forward to much bigger exercises and strategies in logic. So this is just the foundation that everyone needs to know. Okay, so before you can identify the components of a sentence of SL, first you have to be able to identify the compound sentences. There are 5 different compound sentences: negation, conjunction, disjunction, material conditional, and material biconditional. These are all named by the main connectives of a sentence of SL. The main connective affects the sentence as a whole. In this case, they will have immediate component, one or multiple, as in 2. Like you'll see above, the negation only affects one part, so that has one immediate component. But the conjunction, disjunction, material conditional, and material biconditional have 2 immediate components. So for the first example, the connective that affects the entire sentence would be the negation. It affects the entire sentence as a whole, thus being called a negation sentence. Notice that it only has one immediate component, which is A and B as a whole. In the second case, the main connective would be the ampersand, making the sentence a conjunction, because the ampersand affects 2 immediate components, which is negation A and B. And similar to above, the third sentence, negation A wedge B, is a disjunction because the disjunct is the main connective. In this case, the tilde only affects the A, but it does not affect the B. So the wedge is the main connective affecting the negation A and the B. In the fourth and a little trickier example, the horseshoe is the main connective because that will have 2 immediate components. And since negation A ampersand B are in parentheses, that deems them as an entire immediate component. And then C would be the second immediate component. And lastly, in this case, the material biconditional has the triple bar as the main connective because it combines the immediate component as negation A wedge B and C ampersand D. Being able to identify main connectives will be crucial in things like truth tables, derivations, pretty much everything further on past this point in logic. So having a good foundation will definitely help. Now you're ready to name the components of a sentence of SL. So we'll start with a basic sentence like this: negation A, wedge B, horseshoe C. So the first thing to do is find the main connective, something that affects the entire sentence. And in this case, it would be the horseshoe, because it combines negation A, wedge B, and C, having 2 immediate components. So in order to name all of the components, an easy step would be eliminating the main connective and then seeing what you have left. So in this case, you would have 2 parts, 2 immediate components. So you would have negation A, wedge B, and then C. And then from there you just keep breaking it down. So C is an atomic sentence because there's no main connective. So that's done by itself. But we can break down the negation A wedge B a couple more times. So we identify the main connective again, which is the wedge. So that has 2 immediate components, which are the negation A and the B. So now you would list negation A and then B. So then the B is an atomic component too, but the negation A can be broken down again to just an A. And those are your components. The rule states that Components of a sentence is the sentence itself, immediate components of the sentence, and the components of the immediate components. So in this case, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 components of the sentence. Negation A, wedge B, horseshoe C.